Hello, my name is Janie, and I'm a clinical hypnotherapist here in Los Angeles. I'm so glad that you joined me tonight. And if this is your first time, I hope that you'll be joining me in the weeks ahead because we are breaking down the barriers of confusion around hypnosis. And we're also taking some really awesome journeys deep into your subconscious mind. Tonight, I want to have some real talk. I want to get into something that I know is going to really help you to understand how you can best be hypnotized, because everyone is hypnotized differently. That's why we have so many types of inductions. Some of them are giving you a very direct suggestion, while others are much more inferred. Now, I'm going to ask you something. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to verbalize an answer back to me. Now, obviously, I can't hear your answer, but you will, and that will tell us a lot about the probability of your suggestibility. Okay? So listen carefully. Here we go. Can you tell me your name? All right. What was your answer? Now, don't think too fast about it. What was the answer? Was it yes or no? Or did you give me your name? If your answer was yes or no, the probability that your suggestibility is a physical is very, very high. If you gave me your name, you are very likely what's called an emotional suggestible, someone who takes inferred direction. I didn't ask you, what is your name? I said, can you give me your name? Which, if you took that directly, would have been a yes or no question. If you inferred that I'm likely asking what your name is, then you would be very likely an emotional suggestible. So what does that mean? Well, let's go back to your beginning. We're talking between the ages of 0 and 5. In the very beginning, in your first few years, who was your primary caretaker? I want you to think about that person right now. Put their little face in your head. Your primary caretaker, was it mom, dad, a relative? Primary caretaker between 0 and 5. Now, I want you to think back at that person right now, because if you are a physical suggestible, that person is very likely to exhibit the type of behavior of someone who was physical in a good way. They were hugging, they would reach out and touch you, they were okay to give kisses, I love yous. They also could use disciplinary action with their hand if they did a little swat on the rear. This is all something that a physical suggestible caretaker would do, which is in turn molding that little one between ages 0 and 5 to also be a physical suggestible. Okay, you are learning to develop those ego sensations that are positive towards physical touch. This makes you very comfortable in your own skin, if that's making sense. Now, if you're an emotional suggestible, I want you to think back at your primary caretaker between the ages of 0 and 5. This primary caretaker would have been someone who did not reward with physical touch. They also were likely not to follow through with the things that they said. They might have said, this is going to happen to you if you don't clean your room, but it didn't always work out that way. So this little child, as they're starting to learn and grow, they're also learning how to take inferred direction. They're not looking for the direct direction because it wasn't always very direct for them. Okay? This is molding an emotional suggestible. Now, why do we call it emotional suggestible when so many emotional suggestibles are people who don't always show all of their emotion? Well, let's let you understand it in this way. An emotional suggestible has a delay in the ego sensations of the physical body. So a lot of times when they're in a relationship with someone, they're not going to be the first to cry when there's a fight that invokes tears in their partner. Their partner may say, why aren't you showing emotion like I am right now? Do you not care as much about this relationship as I do? The emotional suggestible has a delay of about 3 to 5 minutes of physically feeling the sensations in the body that a physical suggestible will feel. A physical suggestible will literally feel the ache in the heart, the tenderness of the skin, the pulling of the muscles in the joints, When there is pain, emotional pain, a physical suggestible will immediately feel that physical pain in the body. They are very much attached to their ego sensations, the physical body. The emotional suggestible is very protective and doesn't understand and feel those feelings through the body quite as quickly. Again, there's usually just a few minute delay. And this, in turn, can create some conflict in relationships. Now, of course, what happens between human beings? Opposites attract. So you're usually in a relationship with the opposite. You're usually with a physical suggestible when you, in fact, are an emotional suggestible. Makes things very interesting. We will be getting into relationship patterns with emotional and physical relationships in a few weeks. That's a whole other subject. But stick with me now. I hope we're all making sense here. So, as you can understand, there's a lot of difference between the physical and the emotional. Okay? The emotional is actually using the body and their emotions, and they're protecting. So an emotional will put out fear and anger and anxiousness. You might see those feelings, but you're not going to see the more vulnerable feelings of love and tenderness and care. They're very careful to give that out too quickly. Now, why am I talking so many things about the romantic aspects of these two different types of suggestibility? Well, because I'm helping you to understand that hypnosis takes us into those deep, deep places, deep inside. So we have to start breaking down those vulnerable places now in our conscious mind, right here, between you and me. I hope that this has helped you to understand a little bit about the difference in those suggestibilities. And though I don't have the test right here to present to you to make it official, I hope that that brief description has helped you to understand what is very likely your suggestibility. Now, regarding hypnosis, a physical suggestible is going to take the most literal suggestions from their hypnotist, whereas someone who is an emotional suggestible will take the more inferred. Visualization. This is a big one and a huge difference between the two. A physical suggestible has no problem visualizing. If I tell you right now to close your eyes, and I want you to visualize the hands that are down at your side or in your lap right now, physical suggestibles should be able to do that with no problem. You can visualize quite well. Emotional suggestibles will have difficulty visualizing, and that's okay. It's very natural. In this case, I would ask you to imagine that your hands are there. Create them. They don't have to be perfect. Imagine that you might be able to see those hands and where they might be and how that might feel. If you can imagine the feeling of those hands being there, even if you can't completely make them out in your mind's eye, could you imagine them there? Can you feel what it might feel like to have them right there by your side or in your lap? Okay, wonderful. Let's keep your eyes closed right now for me. Very good. Keep your eyes closed for me. I want you to allow yourself right now, with each and every breath, to give yourself the permission to continue to relax, release, and unwind. I want you to allow yourself to feel the differences in your body, knowing that the differences in the physical body will allow you to pull further and further away from conscious thinking. And as you have understood your suggestibility, you're lost in that thought right now. Things are starting to become very clear and make perfect sense to you. And you know that the further you go into your subconscious mind, the more clear things will be for you. That you're looking for clarity tonight, that there is something in your life that you want clarity for, a direction that you should go in, a decision that needs to be made. Allow yourself to go very deep with this understanding that you must go very deep in order to get that clarity tonight. That going deep into your subconscious mind will allow you to find the answer within. That deep into the root of your subconscious awareness, you have all of the answers, that you already know the decision that you will be making. Can you imagine that right now? Can you imagine that you already know the decision deep down inside, that is locked into a chamber that only you have the key to, that right now as you go deeper, allowing yourself to relax further and further, deeper and deeper, that you will be able to find yourself standing at that answer, seeing it right there in front of you, feeling it in your body, in your mind, in your spirit, and knowing that somewhere all along the way, even in your very conscious thinking, you knew what you needed to do. You already knew. You already knew. Allowing yourself to remember the power of your very subconscious and conscious connections. Allowing yourself to feel the peace in the body right now from the very top of your head to the tips of your toes as I count you down from 10 to 0. 0 will allow you to feel very calm, very relaxed, and very, very deep. You remember this journey now as you go down from 10 to 9. 9 is allowing yourself to fall down to 8, and as you are at 8, going down to 7 with a wonderful sense of peace and well-being. From 7 to 6 to 6, 5. 5 is 4, 3, 2, dropping very fast at 1. At 0 is very, very calm, very relaxed, and very deep. Allowing yourself to remember where you've been, where you are going to right now. A wonderful place that is for you. A place of well-being, a place of truth, of peace, and of clarity. The clarity that you seek tonight, to know what you need for yourself, what the body, mind, and spirit ache for, to understand where you must go from here. From here, all of a sudden you are somewhere that you had no idea how you got here. And whether you can see it with your mind's eye or feel it with your spirit, you know you are in a different place right now. A place that knows you. Everything about this space knows you. Even the air that you breathe. The ground that you stand on. The sky above you. Every object, even the colors that you see or feel or imagine. Everything is alive. There seems to even be a song, a whisper written for you, sung for you, played for you. And you are safe, and you are calm, you are deeply relaxed. Deeply relaxed. And as I count you down from 10 to 0, you go even deeper than you are right now. Even deeper than you right now. Because at 10 you're already deep, but at 9 you feel yourself dropping yet again. Dropping again now at 8. Feeling yourself as if you're in an elevator. Whether you are physically in that elevator or feeling the sensation of that elevator, you drop down again at 7, 6, 5, 4, 3 is deeper now at 2, very deep. 1 and 0 is so deep, very calm. Such a wonderful sense of peace within you. I want you to see in front of you now, or imagine that you could possibly feel that there is something ahead of you now. It is hard to make out at first, but there is a light beaming down upon it, and it beckons you. You find it interesting, and you go towards it now. If you could imagine that there might be a light in front of you, a brightness and light that allows you to move forward. As you come forward to what you now see as a table with a spotlight, warm and white, beautiful, bright spotlight shining down on the table in front of you right now, and on that table is a piece of paper, and next to that piece of paper is a pen. And whether you can physically see that with your mind's eye, or imagine that you might be able to sense a piece of paper and a pen, that you might sense what that pen might feel like in your hand. You have felt that before, many times in your life. You can feel the sensation of the pen in your hand. And so with your dominant hand, you are holding that pen right now. You are holding it whether you can see it or not. It is there. Whether you can see the paper or not, it is right there on the table, right ahead of you. And I want you to write automatically right now, anything and all. Write it right now, right now. Write it on the paper right now. Automatic, without thought. Allow the subconscious mind to give you the message. Pen to paper. Writing without thought. Looking down right now. Imagining that you might be able to see in your mind's eye. Imagine that you might be able to perhaps feel the scribble underneath your pen. And what do those letters say? What do they represent? What words look back at you right now? What words look back at you right now? Okay. There you have it then. The words inscribed directly from your subconscious mind. There you have it then. At 0, you are very calm, very relaxed, and very deep with a message from your deep subconscious mind. At 1, you will remember your journey, the reason for your journey, bringing yourself into a state of wellness and peace. At 2. At 3, knowing what you have seen in your mind's eye, or what you have imagined in the depth of your core, bringing that knowledge with you, understanding the power of your subconscious mind. At 4, you know where you are. You know you are in a wonderful state of peace and well-being. You know that you are safe, comfortable, and relaxed, and you will carry this wonderful feeling within your body, mind, and spirit tonight as you sleep and into the days ahead. And at 5, as eyes open, wide awake. At 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, eyes open, wide awake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, eyes open. Very good. Welcome back. I hope you were able to get a wonderful message from your subconscious mind. I hope that you're feeling some clarity and understanding about some direction that you are looking to have. And I hope that as you are coming to terms with the probability of your suggestibility, that this will help us in the weeks ahead together. It is always my pleasure, and I'm delighted to have you each week. If you have not yet subscribed, I would love to have you subscribe. I would love to have you a part of this journey and to know that each week we're not missing each other. I'll see you again in a few days. Feel free to comment below if there's anything that you're looking for, and I am here for you. I hear you, and I'll see you soon.